Taxes was chasing updates and getting nowhere. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert, doing it all for you. While keeping you in the loop. So you can keep chasing this feeling. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax.
Good evening and welcome to the March 27th edition of the A02 Iracing Leagues podcast. I am your host, Rob Lowell, and joining me as always is my very talented co-host, Brandon Garrand. Brandon, how's your week been going? Uh-oh, we can't hear Brandon. You got me, Brandon? Well, we do have Dean Reynolds on, so I'm gonna pull Dean in real quick. Anyway, Brandon gets his
I'm here now. I'm here
yeah,
now.
Brandon's here now, so we got Dean in the
I'm
waiting
sorry.
room.
I had dead headphones.
Oh no, let me get Dean in here because I know he's what will I have explained?
Crunch for time.
Joining us now is the lead admin for the 802 iRacing League's G.Stone Motors 258 division. He's also the Super Dirt Car director for the Northeast. Dean Reynolds. Dean, how are you tonight? It's not our night with the audio. Dean is still muted.
Yeah, I thought it was a funny little pun. I said to crunch for time.
There we go. How's that, guys?
Yeah, there
you
he
are,
is.
Dean.
See, guys, when you have a circle and a black, we have a red circle and a red line through the microphone. That means it's mute. Just a heads up, guys. I wanted to let you know that.
I didn't have headphones in. We started
off to a
hot
rough
tonight.
start.
We started hot tonight.
Nice. It's like my 358 time trial effort on Tuesday.
How are you tonight, Dean?
Good. I actually didn't go to the hockey game, so I had some work to do and decided to come home, and then I got to set up a couple of appointments with the staffing to get them set up on Spend Center. So I got to make my next call around 7:15. So I said, let me get on now.
Okay, well, let's jump, since we're in a time crunch here, let's jump right into the results from Tuesday night, and I'm going to turn it over to you and Brandon.
That Dean, he put your right to work right off.
It's about time you did something. So, but we got the Charlotte event that led into the Oswego event, and Trevor Giroux just made another statement. It's really his title to lose. We like to have a little bit closer title fight going into the finale, but that's okay. He earned it. And when we went under the break, it was Chad Lackey looking like he was going to be the guy to beat, and then after the break, all of a sudden, the tides have changed.
Yeah, it's like I've been saying a lot lately. Trevor's been getting I wouldn't say lucky, but he's been getting good through the heat races, and Chad's just not had as much luck. He's had some incidents where he has to start deep in these features, and I don't think Trevor started worse than the third row since we've came back from the break. So with Chad having to battle through these fields each week, it's not been easy. And I will say he's done almost anything that he can. He's been getting the pole award. He's been getting a lot of those 5 bonus points, but when the other guy's winning almost every race, it's hard to close the gap.
And with the last 2 features only having 1 yellow,
yeah,
it makes it even that much more harder to come from the back, and which is good. I mean, we don't want yellows, but when you are starting back there, though, you do want some yellows to close in the field, because the 802 has gotten so competitive and so many good runners that everyone has speed. And, we got a nucleus of 20 to 22 guys, and really, half of them have a shot at winning.
Yeah, it's crazy competitive up at the front. And I mean, I got up there once this year, so I kind of saw it, and it's just all them guys are really good, and they put in the lap time. They put in the work. Like, they're not just showing up on Tuesday night. They're racing every night that they can, and they're doing everything that they can to make themselves better. And you could see it. It all works out. But
yeah, the Canadian gang has really added a lot to the league. I call them the Canadian gang. There's 5 of them, but to show you how tough it is. And it was funny. I was talking to Sam Bachman, and Sam's our defending champion, and he's running 3rd in points, but he doesn't have a win. And he's just sitting there, and he goes, "God, I can't believe 14 races and I don't have a win." And I said, "Well, Sam, I normally get 1 or 2 wins a season and a bunch of podiums. I have 1 podium this year. That's it. So, a whole slew of top 10s. But, only 1 podium. I've only talked to Roger once, and I think that was week 2. And, I've been close, but I haven't been there yet since."
Yeah, it's been a season of like trends. Like it seemed like at the beginning of the year it was Chad, and then there was a couple wins by Matt Barber, and it seemed like there was a lot of streaks that happened, and then all of a sudden, as we said earlier, I mean, Trevor goes on this epic streak, and I mean that's racing, that happens, and he hit on something, and it didn't hasn't mattered what track we've been at, so
Yeah,
it's been good
and
for him, and
yeah, and being his first year in the 802, I knew Trevor was going to have some success, but Trevor's on our team, Full Throttle Motorsports, and he runs coast to coast in other leagues, and he does get wins there, but this domination he has with the 802 is really uncanny. Yes, we had Damian Ward that did it a couple of years ago, but Damian Ward's almost like pro material. He once he told me he used to get on 7 hours a day. I'm lucky I get on 7 hours a week. So and some guys get on 7 races in 7 weeks. They get on once a week. And but for Trevor, yeah, he does get on a little bit more, but not really like a Damian Ward or anything like that. He'll run 2 or 3 nights a week, but he has a full-time job and doesn't practice and but to have the success he has, he's just got a liking to fix that 358s.
yeah. Well, as we get ready, I mean, I'll go through this. I just want to go through the results real quick. But so as we said, Trevor Giroux got the win once again, picking up his 6th win on the season. Then following behind him was Matt Barber in second. Clay Christopherson finishes out the podium. Ryland Banks finishes 4th. Sam Bachman 5th. Harold Klump, who is also our hard charger, finishes 6th. Chad Lackey gets up to 7th from a deep starting spot. Anthony Roselli, last weekend's winner, finishes 8th. Dean, yourself, finishes in 9th. Jeff Sharp, 10th. Joey Ladisser, 11th. Mike Stryker, 12th. Teddy York, 13th. Tyler Now, 15th or 14th. Myself in 15th, and Shane Billings, 16th. So that's the full rundown. As we head in to the season finale, which is our 100 lap throwback memorial race. It's just, this is going to be a big one. And while there isn't the point battle like we all kind of like would hope for going into it, there still is a point battle.
There's a lot of positions close. Yes,
Yeah,
a lot.
and I mean, if we do get a full field, this is still up in the air too between Chad and Trevor. So I suspect we will get a fuller field. I feel like the 100 lapper should draw some people out, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and I
go
think
ahead,
so
Dean.
too, because it's the last race of the year, and we already made a mention we're going to do a little bit of a tweaks for next year, but overall our car counts were actually up this year compared to last year. Yeah, we had a couple that were under 20. We had quite a few under 20 last year, but it is an invite only league. We have 70 guys invited, and at the beginning of the year I was a little worried because Rob sets us up as a 40 car server. In the first 2 weeks, I think we had 37 and 36.
Yep.
And the lowest we had was 26, but then we went into the break. And I think the break just, other guys found plans or got busy with real life stuff and decided to drop off a little bit. But I think you're right. I talked to a few people. I think the 100 lapper, you're going to see some guys come back because it's the last one and they enjoy running in the 802. And plus, doing the throwbacks. They have a lot of fun doing the throwbacks, and we've been showcasing them. And I'm going to put up a couple more posts there with your car and Anthony Roselli's car. And I know what Sam Bachman's going to do, and Mike Stryker's working on something, and Brian Lawson, I know what he's going to do. And I'll keep on reaching out to see what others are going to do too. So it'll be a fun race, and we'll keep Roger on his toes.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put a little extra incentive for the guys that show up for this 100 lapper. As BG Graphics is one of the sponsors, we're gonna pay out for the top 3. It ain't much.
Good.
Yeah, it ain't much, but you come. So we're gonna do $25 to the winner, $15 for second, and $10 for third. So the podium, little cash prize. Yeah. Not only that, but just also because like it is the Leon Gonyo Memorial. something close to me. So I figure, you know what? I'm gonna put a little money out there and make these guys really put on a show.
Well, then,
So
if you're doing
yeah.
that, I'm going to do $5 each. I'm going to do $5 each heat win, and I'll do $10 for the hard charger. But the hard charger has to be legitimate, so it can't be a Clay Christopherson hanging in the back, like he likes to do sometimes, and
Yeah.
and get a hard charger that way. So we'll showcase those payouts, and then we'll do that, and we'll see if we can get a few more guys coming. But I'll help you out, and we'll do that for a price. But it's funny when we talked Oswego, we were talking earlier, and you said top three, and when we talk Oswego, it's Chad Lackey, Matt Barber, and Clay Christopherson. Every time we go to Oswego, I said there's going to be your top three, and it's all up to the rest of us to see what we can do. So, and I still think they will be the favorites to go in.
Yeah.
So, if you guys are going to throw some money around, I want to get in on this. So I will throw down a $50 challenge to a heat race winner that will elect to start dead last if they can go and win the feature. That's
like
going
that
old
too.
school.
But not eligible for the hard charger.
No.
Yeah.
It will be.
Yeah,
They will be
look at all
considered
that.
starting
So
on
a
the pole,
lot of
but
money to be.
they have to drop to the tail and start dead last. If all three of them
Yeah.
choose to go for it, then the first, they'll line up in order of the heat race. So the first
Yeah.
heat race winner will start ahead of everyone the other two. And if they can win it, it's $50 cash to them. So,
Look at that. A lot of incentive for the boys to show up this weekend. So
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
We'll see what happens after that. Maybe somebody else once we post. I'll post that. We'll get on and we'll post everything tomorrow.
Yep.
And and let everyone know, and then we'll see what else happens. But being a memorial race and a little extra incentive, and I don't mind the money because I mean there's an outside shot at Chad, but we really don't have a point fight. Per se, we're throwing some money around could affect the points and such. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it normally if this was like a 5-point battle. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, you don't want anything to hinder that. But this is something cool that maybe we can do next year because we'll let the cat out of the bag. Yeah, we're going to do a 10 race season next year where we're going to do it all before we all go down to Florida. And because it seemed like everyone was there with us for the first 9 weeks. And with Volusia moving back a week, we can fit 10 weeks in after Charlotte and before Volusia. And that will be the main 802 G.Stone Series. And then we'll talk to Justin and we'll talk to Roger. And we're going to come back and after Florida and do 3 long distance races. And maybe we'll throw up a little bit of money for those races and get a little incentive for that.
Yep. I do like that.
So.
And I think the plans going forward for the schedule next year are going to be, it's just going to work out a lot better. Like as we've noticed the last few years, like you go on a 3-week hiatus. I mean, guys kind of find something else to do. They almost kind of forget, like, oh, I was doing something on Tuesday nights. I missed the week. Well, I'm not going to go back now because I already missed the week and I kind of messed that up. So yeah.
And with our schedules, especially me and Rob, we have to be in Charlotte. We have to be in Florida, and we also want to either compete or run the league and stuff. So yes, we're going to cater around our schedules, but we are the guys that are putting it on too. So but that's what we're going to do. But I think the competitors are going to like it. I think we'll see. Because we're missing Speedy Brissett and Brian Lawson and and there's Cody Harris. I mean, there's 4 or 5 guys that were with us every week, and then we went on the break and we haven't seen them since.
Yep.
And CJ LaFleur, and we want to see these guys back. And maybe a 10-week season before we all get busy working on our personal cars and race cars and everything. I think they'd be more in tune to run that.
100%. And then they'll come back for those few races that we'll run after, and like if we do have the money incentive, that might make them more apt to be like, you know what, I don't mind running this Tuesday night. Go out there. It's not gonna always be much, but $25, especially now if you get Rob's prize. I mean, you could come out of that with $75 that night, and if you get the heat race, we're talking just this Tuesday. It could be 80. You could win $80 this Tuesday.
And what I want to do for the big races at the end, the long distance races, I'm going to put that up to a vote. So we're gonna next season we're gonna do we have to because it's Justin Stone's part of the Super Dirt Car Series and World Racing Group and Dirt Carb. We have a vested interest in Volusia, Charlotte, and Oswego, so we're gonna go there twice. Those 3 tracks. We're gonna go there twice in the regular season, and then I think we'll do Cedar Lake as a short track because that seems to be racing the best, and then we'll pick the other 3 tracks to give us our 10-race series. But when we do the long distance races, I'm gonna open it up to the vote for the guys and vote on the tracks, but it can't be any of the tracks we raced at.
Yep.
So that's going to make it interesting. So it'd be interesting to see, did they pick a Williams Grove? Did they pick a Port Royal? Did they pick a Fairbury? It'll be interesting. And maybe by then, iRacing might give us a new dirt track so we can have something else,
Oh, I
God,
hope we get. I want a mile
been a
dirt
year.
track.
Please
I
give
want
us
a
a
mile
Springfield
dirt track
mile.
so bad.
Give us a Springfield mile.
I do know they scanned Attica, Florence, and Belleville High Banks, and all 3 of them would be awesome tracks. I think to race on the sim, and I'm hoping they just bring them out. Just give us something because believe it or not, the last track we had other than Millbridge has been Houston's.
I think there will be a release with this next season coming up because from what I keep seeing is like they have the dirt AI, they have the AI on iRacing right now, and they're trying to get the dirt AI on there, and they're still fine tuning it, and I believe it's supposed to release with the next season update or maybe the following one. So I think within the next half season we'll have some dirt tracks, but I'm with Rob. So. We need a dirt mile.
Yes. Yeah. No. God. You got 2 of them that you can scan.
They gotta put Springfield on there just because of ARCA.
I wish it was. Yeah. I wish it was Syracuse, but that's not possible anymore.
No, but you got the coin and you got you got Illinois.
So, yeah, you got 2 dirt tracks that you could scan, and ARCA races on them both every year.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So I hope so too. But no, it's been a good year. I want to thank everyone for competing. It's been fun and it's challenging. I like what the 802 does. I like how we do it with the new members and being 3,000 and under and still giving the weekly guys. I mean, when you can see Harold Klump get the hard charger and get himself almost a top 5 and being what he is in age and stuff, that's what the 802 is about. Jeff Sharp's had a good year and it's still, the Canadians are tough, but there's still a lot of guys are getting a lot of success and getting a lot of top 10s. I mean, and they might only race 1 or 2 times a week.
Harold's 9 points, having a great year. I mean, he did get top 5 a couple weeks ago at Lanier. So it is for everybody. I mean, yeah. Harold ain't out there slinging it for wins every week, but I tell you what, he's having just as much fun as those guys that are slinging it for wins. And
I watched him go by. I watched him go by me Tuesday.
He's smiling from ear to ear. So yeah, I'm excited for what the season was, what the season will end as, and yeah, it's been a great year overall. And
yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, we enhanced our PR. Shane Billings doing those videos for us, and it makes you proud to run into a league. But then again, it all comes down to the drivers. I mean, we had 1 yellow 2 weeks ago at Volusia. We had 1 yellow at Charlotte. And really with a 100-lap race, I bet you we'll have 3-4 yellows and that's it. We're gonna get a area of that race where we're probably gonna go 50 laps nonstop, and our arms are gonna be hanging, and we're gonna be beat tired. But that's gonna be part of it.
Who thought of 100 laps? Yeah, I mean, last year we must have had 4 or 5 cautions at most. I can't remember, but
it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, no, it was.
No, actually, I think that was me and you that kind of thought of that to bring it down with when Oswego joined the sim. We kind of wanted to do like a Super Dirt Week close of the schedule, and that's where it came about.
Yeah, we kind of said we had to do it. Like you could not do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I love.
There were 6 cautions last year.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Guess who won it last year? Chad Lackey.
Chad Lackey. Oh yeah, no. I'm not kidding. When it comes to Oswego,
list the top 3 for that race.
Chad Lackey, Blake Christopherson, and Matt Barber.
And probably if you go back to the time we ran there this year, I think Chad won. And I'd be interested to see what the top 3 was when we ran there earlier for a 35-lapper.
I can bring it up.
Yeah.
Oh, we raced there twice last year too.
Yeah, we did once already this year too.
Chad, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm looking at the first time we raced there, and Chad wasn't a part of the league yet, so he wasn't part of that top 3.
Yeah, but take a look. No, take a look at this season. We ran one this
Yeah.
season.
Oh yeah, I bet you.
I'm bringing it up right now.
It's just the track that fits those guys.
Clay, Matt Barber, and Sam Bachman. Chad was
Okay.
fourth.
Oh.
Chad was 4th. So,
Trevor was 8th.
So,
But
yeah,
yeah.
Trevor knows that this is. I mean, he's good there, but it's a track. I'm the same way. I usually finish 6th or 7th. I always try to run the outside, and it works for a while. Like last year, I remember on the telecast that I think it was around about lap 50 to 70. I remember on the broadcast there, Roger was saying, and Dean Reynolds came out of nowhere, and it's because I got going on the high side. But then after a while, your tires start going, and then I had to move back down to the bottom, and I think I got like 6th or 7th. So, but if there's an outside there, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun seeing how much the track can change. So, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe next year we step it up. We can do 150 laps somewhere. I'm just saying. We can go even longer.
Dean's gonna,
Brandon, you remember, I don't get any younger.
Come on, Dean. You can do it. I know you can.
Yeah.
Well, Dean, we do have a 267 lap race coming up in 4 weeks in the Cup Series. If you want,
I'll be happy to watch it. So, but no, with this rain out, I guess I'll make my second ARCA race tomorrow.
There you go. There's no race tomorrow.
Oh.
Rob didn't schedule one.
I didn't schedule one because I was supposed to be in Georgetown, and there wasn't an admin to admin it.
Well, can we do an impromptu race and see if we get enough people to run or no?
I'll tell you what, I'd be a part of that impromptu race if we put it on dirt.
Oh.
But no, I'm sure we could throw a little impromptu. I feel like the guys are always looking to race.
Yeah, we can throw something up.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be 60 lapper, whatever.
Someplace we're not on the schedule.
Mm-hmm. And make sure and make sure it's free.
Yeah.
Well, if it's free, I think you'll get more guys to show up.
Yeah.
Well, I know Charlotte's free, but I think that's on the schedule. Daytona's free. That's on the schedule. It's been so long. I don't know what's free. Hey, if you're listening, what's a free track out there for asphalt?
That's not on the schedule.
Hold on. We can find out here. I had the ability to find out. Good old Gemini will tell me.
As I say, I'm pretty sure I own every oval track on the server, so I don't know what's free, what I paid for at this point.
Yeah, see, I could probably log into my account and look because I think Motegi's the only track I ever bought.
Dang, bought that track just for the ARCA League, Dean?
Yeah, that was I had to buy the car and the track to get lapped.
I think a little
Legacy
short track,
Phoenix. They're oval tracks. Here we go. We could do Charlotte, Concord, Lanier, Oxford, South Boston, Thompson, and USA International.
Thompson.
USA or Thompson would actually be fun, being a short track.
Yeah.
Okay,
I actually run SKs at Thompson, and they were a blast. Okay. And USA on asphalt's really cool too.
We'll do Thompson.
Yeah, I like Thompson.
Yeah.
So you gonna be there, Brandon?
I will be there. I don't have the kids, so I'm allowed to race in the morning on Saturday.
Yeah, so I got to run here. I got to run here in 3 minutes. But Rob, why don't you put up a post and in the ARCA and maybe in the overall general and say, hey, fun run tomorrow. No points, no pressure, but we want to see a full field.
Yep, like that. Yeah, no points.
If we can get a good 14, 15 cars at Thompson, that'd be a lot of fun.
20 would be even better. You know what? I'm even going to use the dreaded @everyone for that.
Oof. We know
why not?
That rings the bell.
Why not?
Oh, Dean, now you got a nice quiet weekend. No hockey game. No
No,
racing.
they're playing tonight, but like I said, I got done work too late, and I'm gonna go tomorrow night. So
That's the crunch, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then I sent out an email to some employees. We got a new expense center that we enter in our expenses and stuff. So I sent that link out, and I've been following up with people. So just using it a little bit, and then after this last call, I'm gonna sit back and watch some sprint cars. And
There you go.
on Irvin.
There you go. That sounds like a good night right there.
Yeah.
Where are the sprint cars at? Where are the sprint cars at tonight?
They are at I-36 down in. They're way down. Where are they? They're down south somewheres.
Yeah.
I believe. I believe that's the track. And then the late models are in Alabama.
I still say the modifieds are the best show. I'm just biased.
All right, guys, I'm going to jump off.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, thanks for
So
joining
then,
us, Dean.
no, we'll put up a post tomorrow on the awards, and then Rob, you put up a post tonight on ARCA, and and then hopefully I'll get to see everybody on the asphalt tomorrow.
It's already up in the ARCA chat.
Look at that.
Cool.
So
all right, Dean. Thanks for stopping by, and yeah, enjoy your less busy weekend now. I mean, you don't have to take a trip down to Georgetown. You don't,
No, I'd rather. Yeah, I think Rob can.
We'd
rather be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but there's always stuff to do. So
Yep.
cool. All right, guys.
Okay, Dean.
Right,
see you
man.
Tuesday night.
Yeah. Thanks so much. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yes, tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Later, Dean.
That is Dean Reynolds, our lead admin for the G.Stone Motors 358 Modified Series here in the A2 iRacing Leagues. He's got a little bit of a nifty day job. He's the guy that runs the Super Aircraft Series up here in the Northeast with the big block modifieds. He runs the whole Northeast for dirt cars. So great to have Dean on the team and helping us. He's in year 4 of doing this with us. So really, really good. Lucky to have him. Okay, Brandon, what's next on the agenda?
I say we probably crunch through our asphalt side here real quick. I mean, nothing too major to punch on either of those because we do have 2 more guests coming on after, I believe. We are scheduled to have the voice of the 358 series. We're still going into a little bit more preview just because it's championship week for the modified series, even though it's not as much of a battle as we would hope. But we're gonna have the voice of the series, Roger Muth, come in. He's tentative to come on around 7:45, and then after him, or even he might hop on with Roger, we're gonna have Trevor Giroux come back on. He was on a couple weeks ago. We were hoping to get Chad to come on with them, but unfortunately Chad's working tonight, so we do have just Trevor. I don't say that as a bad thing, but it would have been fun to have them it'd have been fun to have them bantering back and forth together. I was really hoping to get them going. I want a little what was it, Tony Stewart and Carl Edwards, where I'd wreck your mom. I'd wreck my own mom to get a championship. But no, we have Trevor on, and Trevor was a great interview last time, so excited to have him back on too. But yeah, I say we get into it. If you want, we can start with ARCA real quick.
I got the Busch pulled up already.
Oh, you got the Busch? All right, We'll go right into the Busch Series then.
I was going chronological order.
All right, so yeah.
Mr. Sim 500 himself, Joey Gattina, gets first career 802 Busch Series win. Joey runs Sim 500, and he's the guy, him and Joe Hudson, that got our 2 leagues hooked up together. And Joey had some late race magic, I guess you'd call it, right?
Yeah, so funny enough, these 2 actually started the race on lap 1 in an accident, Joey and Joe. So, yeah, just a lot of perseverance all day. And, I mean, a lucky set of tires still that they had the latest, or they held on waiting the longest to put their last set on. And they had just enough laps to storm up through the field. I mean, it wasn't easy. They're still at the end of this race. There's still 14 cars in the lead lap. So, They make a charge up through the field and pass Kenny Reel and Mike Kelly, and they go 1-2 and get the win at Vegas. Well, Joey gets the win at Vegas, and Joe gets a nice runner-up spot. But yep, Joey's first win with the 802. So congrats to Joey.
Absolutely. Let's I'll run through the top five, then you take it from there.
Yep.
Joey Gatina won, as we talked about. Joe Hudson second, Kenny Real third. Mike Kelly led race high 63 laps, and as Brandon alluded to, he got I want to say being the strategy part, and just the way it crumbled. Those guys were back there trying to survive, do what they had to get back on the lead lap, and taking wave rounds, and their bad
Yeah, I
luck
mean,
became their good luck. Like I think if Joey and Joe both, I think they probably would have rather have not had to take a waiver
tires
and get their
earlier.
tires earlier, but it could
Yeah.
have very easily the caution not come out, and we were looking at a different winner here. But yeah, so Mike led 63 laps. Frank Zingen um, finished fifth.
Yeah, then we
Um,
got Dan McLaren sixth. I believe that was his first race with us. Matt Barber crosses over from the dirt side, comes back to the bush side for one of his few starts this season. He finishes seventh. Stony Benfield eighth. Nick Larson in his first start with the Busch Series finishes ninth. Ron Holyfield 10th. Steve Vest 11th. Dustin Coggin 12th. Rob yourself a 13th. Logan Kogar 14th. Landon Audette 15th. Johnny Barker 16th, Shane Billings 17th, myself an 18th, Steve Ritter 19th, Isaac Salas 20th, Scott Simley 21st, Kenneth Kuko 22nd, and Bryson Anderson 23rd. So a nice little field, 23 cars. Yeah, a little bit more cautions than we've had as of late, but it was just a race of constantly everybody on different strategies.
yeah,
Because I'd say the two tires is kind of what limits or what creates that, which is kind of like what we like a little bit, but at the same time, you got guys early in the race saving a set of tires on an early caution. Some people coming in and get them, and right from there, the strategies are all over the place. So a lot of comers, a lot of goers, but yeah, like we said, in the end, it was Joey and Joe's almost misfortune that led to their fortune. Because if they're like me, most of the time, I won't change my tires until I know my car's 100%. Because it's just gonna when
chew
your
them up.
car's damaged, it's just going to ruin the tires anyway. So there's no sense of even if you run a 50 lap run where they're at 50%, you might as well keep going until your car's fully fixed, or else you're just going to waste that next set of tires. So
Um,
congrats to them.
do you? Um, well, I guess we'll get to the points, and we'll discuss the events around the points leader then.
Oh, yep,
Um,
yep. I totally almost forgot about that. So yeah, we'll go through that after. But Logan Kogar still leading the points. Dustin Coggins in second, myself in third. Steve Ritter fourth, Johnny Barker fifth, Jorge Ledesma sixth, Cody Gibson seventh, Ron Holyfield eighth, Mike Kelly ninth, and Rob, you jump up a couple spots. You're in the top 10 in points now.
hey,
About that,
even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while.
right? I mean, ain't too bad for as many starts. You haven't made as many starts as everybody else, so
No, I think I made it. I don't know.
I think you've missed about probably like
I
I'd
want
say
to say
about quarter of them. Quarter of them.
I made 16. I've only started 16 races, so
Yeah. So
um,
yeah, about a quarter of the races, 21
yeah.
is. Yep. So but yeah, Logan still holds a 25-point lead over Dustin, 42 over myself, 76 over Steve, and 108 over Johnny. So I'd say it's about a 5 horse race, but the bottom half of that race has got uh, they need a lot of help. So I think it's just mostly between Logan and Dustin here, and yeah, we can get into Logan's penalty,
Yep. Um,
which eventually,
you were out of the race at that point and
yep,
acting as race control. Why don't you discuss what led to you looking at it,
yep.
and then explain what happened. We try to be transparent
So
here on the podcast on how we run
yep.
our leagues.
So to start with, we we enforce the restart zone rule, but we for the longest time hadn't put that, like, we didn't have it the feature checked on in iRacing to where iRacing was enforcing it. It was more something that we were self-policing, and for the most part everybody obeyed. But so what had happened was a few restarts Logan was leading, and a few drivers had voiced up concerns about, hey, you need to clean up your restarts, hey, you're going early, and all this stuff. And
Not
eventually when I got,
the big
yeah,
the big voice concern was you're not maintaining pace speed.
yeah,
You're starting to creep up or slowly just accelerate um,
yeah,
before the restart zone.
yeah, everybody was telling him he needed to clean up like before the restart zone. So eventually when I got out of the race, there was still another concern about it. So I went back and I started watching his restarts. And what I had noticed was the pace speed was 60 miles an hour. And as soon as the pace car would pull off to the pits, he would slowly increase before the first line of the restart zone. It would be at 70 miles an hour. And nobody else in the field is really doing that because they are maintaining pace speed, which that's what you're supposed to do. So he was getting an advantage off each restart, more than an advantage that he should have as the leader. The leader should have an advantage, but he was abusing the advantage of the iRacing restart zone thing not being on. So eventually, I gave Logan a black flag, which is a pass through penalty. He didn't lose a lap, but he was leading the race at the time, and yeah, it's a call I made because I'd watched 2 to 3 restarts before that, and then I watched the last one live, and he kept doing it even after we had told him that we were going to be reviewing this post race, which was essentially the warning that we were giving him, like, hey, you better clean this up, or you're gonna, which would have been worse if we would have done it post race. He would have been DQ'd and he would have finished last in the race. So in a way, he's lucky that I was out of the race to be able to review this right in the moment.
Yeah, and what I'll add to that is there was a specific question asked of me or of the admin team, and I'm the one that answered it. Of are we supposed to maintain pace speed coming to the green? And I answered in the affirmative, yes, we are. And I said if there's any issues, as Brandon said, we will review it post race. That was the warning to everyone that you have to maintain pace speed. I got asked the question a couple times this week from different people. Why didn't he get a warning after he did it the last time? We had given a blanket warning to everyone that you have to maintain pace speed, and we are going to review it post race. I don't know how that could be any clearer as a warning. So, um, once I knew Brandon was out, I jumped in his Discord real quick under yellow, said, "Hey, we need to watch the restarts." He told me he'd already watched a couple of them, replayed a couple of them, watched them. Um, and at that point, I'm still racing. I told Brandon, I said, "You make the call. Stand behind you 100% of whatever call you make." So we hate that it came down to this. We don't like to do this, but like Brandon said, if this same exact call would have been made post race by me, and it would have been a DQ dead last, and he would have lost a lot more points. So extremely lucky he came out of there. I think he was 14th, one spot behind me.
Yeah, and fortunate for him, Dustin was
And,
right
yeah,
around him, so he didn't lose anything to anybody.
if Brandon's in that race, he's dead last, and he's probably looking at a single-digit point lead at this point. So fortunate for him. And I see we have our next guest.
Yes,
Waiting for
he's
us.
muted.
So we will bring him in, and that
We're
wraps
gonna
up.
go back to the dirt.
Yep, we're gonna go back to the dirt for a little bit. So gonna move Roger in here, and he's the voice of the A02. Well, I'll wait till he gets in here. Joining us now is the voice of the 802 iRacing League's G.Stone Motors 58 division, Roger Muth. Roger, welcome back to the podcast. It's been a minute, my friend.
Hi, gentlemen. Yeah, first time out here getting to sit down to speak with you guys about all the fun and great things with the dirt side of things by the G.Stone Motors and with the 358 Modifieds over here. And hey, we're getting ready to wrap up that fourth season, guys.
Yeah,
Roger. I figure I never get to come to an interview. I got close this year once, but I had to be able to talk to you and just like, yeah, as you said, we're getting ready for this big 100 lapper. Long race for you as an announcer. I mean, we don't usually go this long, so it's an extra distance race for you as well with the voice and everything. So we did it last
The
year.
marathons are always some of the greatest races
Yeah.
that we have, especially when it comes to the dirt side of things. You know, dirt racing, everybody thinks of sprint racing, 20 laps, 25 laps, 30 laps. Maybe we stretch it in the, in the local regions to 35 on special occasions. But the greatest thing about iRacing here is, yeah, we're not out there. We're not in the 100-degree weather, the dirt, the grime, the sweat that goes into it night in and night out. So those 100-lap events that we get to actually all get to come together on the iRacing.com platform and go for, they're special. And the great thing is iRacing over the years has developed a great platform for us that not only did we just bring dirt racing a couple years back to iRacing, but we also have tweaked it. We now have the tire wear, the manipulation of the, the grooves starting, a lot of these races we all know on iRacing starts dead on the bottom and then they start to migrate themselves up. And probably about 40 to 45 laps in on next Tuesday, we're going to have a great 2-lane track from top to bottom and anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, it's gonna get real. I mean, we did it last year. It was real racy. But we had Dean on a little bit before you came on, and he said there's 3 guys you got to watch for, and it's Clay Christopherson, Matt Barber, and Chad Lackey. Those guys are the. He's. I think he called the shot. I think that's the podium. I think Dean wants to win this race, but I think he called them as the podium basically. And yeah, those, like you said, the track eventually will widen up. But these 3 guys they hug the bottom, and
Dean likes to roll the big block off the trailer and then try and sneak it through tech.
Yeah.
I heard he does some of those shady things here and there. Only kidding, obviously. We know it's the iRacing, but you nailed it there. Those 3 guys, Clay Christopherson, he's known to go down there catfishing all night long, just hanging out down on the bottom, waiting for the track to transition to bring it back to the bottom because he knows everybody's going, choo-choo train around the top side. If you go up there and you just sit on the top side of the speedway, you're not going to get to go anywhere. But Chad Lackey, he's another one of those drivers. He's battling for this championship here. He's just 37 points out coming into the final race of the season. That's still an obtainable number that he can overcome to get that championship. He is one of those drivers. He likes to go down around the bottom too. Barber, he's a bottom feeder, likes to run that slider line occasionally. If he needs to, he'll go up and put it on the boards. The question is going to be, though, can the rookie of Trevor Giroux hold off that pressure from all his counterparts that carry that maple leaf on the top of their cars?
Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited to see how the 100 lap really factors into this because yeah, like you said, this championship battle, while it's a big gap, it's not over. I talked to Trevor earlier this week and he's like, what's my point situation? Do you know what it is? And I'm like, all right, let me do some figuring. And so what I figured was he needs to finish 18th if Chad doesn't get the 5 bonus points, and he needs to finish 16th if Chad does get the 5 bonus points. That'll put them in a tie, but Trevor has 6 wins and Chad can't catch him there. So those are his
Yeah.
2 spots. Those are his numbers he's thinking of, 16th and 18th. And I'll tell you what, Roger, we made this a race a little bit. I don't know if you were listening before. We put some money on the line for this last race, so it's gonna get really exciting. We got 25 going to the winner, 15 to second, and 10 to third. Dean's putting up money for the heat race winners, $5 each for those guys, and then $10 for the hard charger and the feature. And then Rob laid down the hammer, and any one of the heat race winners, if they elect to take an EOL in the feature, and if they can come back through the field and win the race, that's $50 to them.
What you're saying is I'm going to get to turn around here because in my we're calling it my basement, my man cave. I have the broadcasting rig on one wall and the racing rig. So you're saying I'm going to get to actually come out and race?
Oh, you want you? I think we could swap. You could drive my car for the night. How's that?
Well, we could let Dean come up here and try and push these buttons and talk into the microphone. And I know he's a little old and he might be a little slower at it, but I think he could do it. He spent enough time, traveling around with some of the big guys.
Yeah, he's got the experience, but yeah, we're putting some money on the line to really try to not only give you a show and a great broadcast, but we're trying to get the numbers back up. We've been kind of low on the numbers, and we really want to make sure that Trevor has to earn this championship by making sure there's cars there that he has to qualify in, and we'll see what happens.
Well, that's one of the great things. I mean, I get you guys are throwing some money at the line, and that's what's great about this series here with the 802 guys, because you guys are willing to always give back to the drivers that support you. Of course, we have the sponsors. You know, we got G.Stone Motors, a big backing here, and we absolutely love the whole Stone family and everything they do for 802 and the whole racing community as a whole. But then that trickles right down to you guys giving back to these drivers. And this league has the drivers, the foundation that, you know, you can pull a 14 car field or you can pull a 44 car field. It doesn't matter if it's 14 or 44. Every driver that shows up and signs in that evening knows the objective is to go out, have a great race, have a fun race, and just put on one heck of a show for everybody else that's out here watching. And that goes for me. I get the pleasure week in and week out during this, 15, 16 week season that we've had over the last 4 seasons to sit here and watch some of these great moments. I've seen drivers spin, come back through the field. I've seen drivers get tore up and unfortunately have to go use that quick repair, the backup car, if you will, and come back through the field. I've seen guys, 3 drivers, pull away from fields, throw sliders at each other's for 35 laps, and come down to a last lap pass. That is absolutely what makes this series great. From 14 cars to 44, anybody can win on any given night. And you think everybody says that, right? Anybody can win on any given night. Look at the last couple of weeks. Harold Klump, one of the drivers that is newer, call it newer in the last year and a half to the series, he has been competing. If you look at his last statistics here of the last 6 weeks, he's been competing inside the top 8 on a regular. Jeff Sharp, a driver that, kind of runs towards that 10th, 11th, 12th position, he's been running better also. There's drivers. I mean, look at Speedy. He was a champion for the first season. He actually this season fell towards the bottom list of drivers when he showed up. That just shows you the range that a champion has now fallen down because we've brought the competition level so much higher.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was going to ask you too. Is like you've been here since season 1. You've seen the whole evolution of like the whole series, and yeah, we've brought in a lot more skilled drivers, but they're the guys that have stuck around, excluding myself, have really seemed to grow and adapt to compete with these. I won't say they're pro. I won't say they're great, but like you bring in like the Canadian crew. These guys are really good. They're out there every week, and like you said, you got Harold still out there competing, and there's been an evolution to the drivers that have been here all 4 years. But like with the influx of the newer drivers, I think eventually we all mesh and we are on that same level where everybody can win any night.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, and I just named a couple. You could sit here and you could go through the list of Randall Dixon, Andrew
Yep.
Hansley, CJ Lavere, Brewer, who shows up when he wants to, DeRosier, I mean, Harris. There is a slew of drivers at any given night could pop off and just steal one. And right, this season it would be stealing one of the Maple Leafs because that seems to be everybody that just goes to victory lane, except for Bachman and Roselli. And Christopherson. We've got four out of all the races this year.
Bachman has not won yet this year, Roger.
Oh, I put him in the wrong category then.
Oh, no, you're good, but that's just
Maybe I
like,
put him in there penciling, saying maybe he'll get one for us.
that's one of those things though. That's like that's our defending champion, and Dean said it earlier. He's not won a race, and that just shows how competitive this league is. And
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm looking at it. And I forget how many drivers, I have it in the stat book somewhere, who have at least competed in one event over the last 4 years, and it's a lot of drivers. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people out here.
yeah, and I think Dean said it earlier. Also, like keep bringing Dean back. He might as well just stayed on this interview with us the whole time. But yeah, I think he said on the iRacing thing we have like 70 drivers in our series. So we are at any point we could have a bunch of guys show up, and any one of those guys could win. That would show up.
I think it's right around 104 drivers have taken at least one
Jeez.
feature event start with the series in 4 years.
Yeah, that's a lot of drivers.
And Dean has 53 starts. I'll just
Yeah,
throw that out there.
I was gonna say, and thinking of the guys that have probably over 40 starts or so in the league, like
It's a lot.
It's
And I mean,
102 drivers have started. I just looked it up.
yeah,
see, look at that. Uno, dos, and tres.
You were off by 2.
I've never claimed to be good at doing math here in Pennsylvania.
Do you know who's the second most starts in the league?
Brandon is. It's Dean, Brandon, Speedy, Scott, and Anthony Roselli.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I got to be up there.
I don't know.
Hey, I got the starts, Roger. I don't got the stats. I got the starts though.
Just looking at, I want to see here. Hey, 7 top 10s, still better than me.
I think I got 2 top 5s and a pole.
3 top 5s.
3 top 5s. Whew,
Don't sell yourself short out there. Look
Well-
at the field. You never, especially with these drivers, you never want to sell any of these guys short on any of the finishing positions because every night it is earned out there.
I've been asking Dean if we could do track resets ever since I got that top 5 at Volusia this year. He doesn't.
Well,
wanna
what
do
you
it.
got to do is you got to follow Dean. You got to get the wrecking ball out in front of you. He'll clear the path in the heat race. You start out front, you get that fresh track reset, and then tell everybody that we're not going to count caution laps if we have any, and cut the laps by 5.
So before we sneak Trevor in here, unless you want to stay in and talk to Trevor a little bit, but I got one more question for you.
Hit me with your best shot, my
yeah.
friend.
How excited are you for Throwback Weekend for us to all run different numbers this weekend and you not know who we are?
So it's one of those things you hate it and you love it because usually the first 2 weeks nobody has any of their numbers, any of their paints correct, and they don't know what's going on. And I'm sitting here going, "Who's the new guy that's running 15?" I want to say, "Oh, who was it?" Striker. Striker came in this year about midway through. Never seen him. His number's not matching. I'm like, who is this driver out here? I can't even tell who it is. And then I say 15, and then I look at my scoring pylon, and I'm like, well, no, 15 is so-and-so. And I'm like, well, that's incorrect because it definitely says it. And then you just go, well, just say a number.
I love the whole transponder. Yeah, they got the wrong transponder on that car.
Yeah, it's crazy. But with the throwback paints, you get to learn people like Leon Gonyo, who's out there. We're going to be seeing a paint scheme for him. We're going to see Richie Tobias out there. It's the drivers, the cars, the stars that we all grew up with. Some of them, it's our family members. There's always a story behind it. The part that I don't like is, I'm going to say I don't like it, and I can take a little bit of the blame myself on this. But if you go out to a Saturday night race and you know it's a special event, something big like this, you're able to walk through the pits. You're able to see the driver. You're able to get that background. Here, it's different. Yeah, we have the age of the internet. I can go reach out, but I can tell you this right now. Not every driver will answer on the internet. I could message Trevor today and not hear from him for 3 weeks. You know that, Brandon. You reached out to me the other day on Discord. I'm only on Discord on race night. I don't page through it and I got so many messages on Discord, you would think it's like it's watching an EKG. It's just ding, ding. It's just going off. So I don't even bother. Just like these drivers. They got so many too because they're in leagues. They're not going to answer it. But the backstories would always be something that we wish we always had more of. Because there's always more. It's just you never get the answers in time.
Well,
but for it, I'm still excited.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think most of the drivers end up driving the same number, luckily, so it's not too bad out there. But yeah, it's like you said, it's fun learning everybody else's other stories, and most of the time it's just like it shows how they got into racing. So that's always a nice little touch.
Absolutely, I can't wait for it. I mean, give me about the first 30 laps, and I'll figure it out. Good thing we're going 100.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we did the extra distance for this race, so Roger could get accustomed to everybody's throwback.
Love it.
But yeah, if you want to stay in or if you gotta go, we're gonna drag Trevor in the booth now too, because
hey, you drug me on my computer. I might as well hang out for a little bit.
all right, I like that. All right, so we drag Trevor in here.
He's in.
Yeah, and so yeah, now joining us in the booth, our points leader in the 802 G.Stone Motors Modified Series, Mr. Trevor Giroux. Trevor, how are you doing tonight? You're joining not only me and Rob, but we have Roger tonight, and you and Roger almost have a really strong relationship as much as you guys have talked this year.
Oh yeah, I think I've talked to this guy enough this year.
I don't think that is possible, sir, to talk to me too many times because, I mean, we're talking about all the racing that we have coming up here, Trevor. And yes, it is true. We've talked, 6 times this season in your rookie year but we still have one more big event to go coming up that you have the possibility to not only come talk to me, but do something you haven't done in the 802 series.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be it's gonna be a wild one. You're gonna be doing some practice tonight and just get ready, man. It's not a strong track for me, but gonna put in a few hundred laps and see how it goes.
Now, have you ever done like an extra distance race? I assume you have, but
Yeah, we did. I think it was last year or the year before. It's been a while, but I did like a super dirt week thing. It was a 75 lap 358 race out of Oswego, and then we did 100 in the big blocks. I think it was so.
yeah.
Trevor,
So,
Trevor, coming
oh
into this year, sorry, Brand, I want to ask this
no, you're good.
question because we get limited time when we actually have our post-race interviews because everybody wants to go to bed and they're tired of hearing from me. But so Trevor, coming into the series here with 802 this year, knowing the competition level they've had over the last 3 seasons, how hard was it to go grab that? Everybody calls it the extra gear when you see somebody, call it Anthony Roselli or Sam Bachman hanging out right behind you or right alongside you on that starting lineup.
It's tough because I mean, like you said, Roger, there's the level of competition in the league is it's high, man. There's guys in this league that can win anywhere, right? It's regardless of the talent of whatever race they're in. There's some really good guys in here, and it took me a little bit to settle in. I think I started off the season with a second at Charlotte to Chad, and then can't recall the other races, but just took me a bit to settle in. And then when you finally break through and get that first win, it's just a big confidence booster, and it kind of changes things for you. You come in and you're not nervous, you know what to expect, and I race with probably 50-60% of the field on any given night on in other leagues, so I kind of know you know driver tendencies and things like that. But it's whether it be a different rule set for the league or just the new league, obviously to me. So it just took a little bit to get settled in, and then like I said, you get that first win and your confidence shoots up knowing you can win in this league in this field, and then it's just on from there and you settle in and you just do what's got to be done.
well, you've done more than settle in. You've done come in. You've kicked me out of my couch, and you've made yourself at home because man, you've been on a hot streak, like you said, ever since getting that first win. Well, actually, more the second win. You got that first win at Lernerville, but like right before the break when you hit that Charlotte, I mean, you reeled off 4 in a row and then 5 of 6. So you've definitely made a home here, and yeah. While all that said, I mean, we talked the other day about your scenarios. You said I need to know what I got to finish. I need to know this. This is gonna help me.
Yeah.
And now, does that put more pressure on you in a way? Like now that you know the number, do you feel like that's what you're like shooting for? Or you're not gonna run as loose as probably you have been, or like I almost feel like it's kind of like when I'm getting ready to do a qualifying lap sometimes, and you know the lap time you got to hit, and it almost puts more pressure on you knowing what you got to hit. So I'm just curious how you're gonna balance that throughout the whole 100 lap race.
Um, Honestly, yeah, I think it does put more pressure on me knowing, say Chad wins and gets quick time. Well, I have to finish 16th or better, or he wins and doesn't get quick time, then it's 18th. Like for me, it definitely puts more pressure on for me on myself, but at the same time, in the middle of the race, we're 55 laps into the race, whatever it is, and I'm sitting ninth, and I'm like, okay, 45 to go. Like you're in ninth, you're settling in, like you're probably an eighth and ninth place car, but nothing worse. And then I just settle in and hit my marks and stay out of trouble. And knowing that if I finish ninth and Chad wins and had quick time, I'm still the championship winner. Instead of not knowing where I had to be, and then I might put my nose somewhere where it shouldn't be because I maybe in my mind I think I need that spot, and something happens, I wreck, and it's all down the drain, right? But that's the way I see it, anyways. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. I kind of do the same thing in coast to coast. If I'm running for a championship there, I'll message the guy like, hey, what do I got to do, and try and do it, and it either works out or it doesn't, and you go from there, I guess.
Well, not to throw like a wrench in like maybe some of those plans, but We just announced earlier tonight that there's going to be some money on the line for this race, a little bit extra incentive. So we're going to put up 25 for the winner, 15 for second, 10 for third, and then that's BG Graphics. And then Dean's going to put up 5 to the heat race winners. And then Rob came in and said, well, any one of the heat race winners, if they elect to take an EOL, start from the rear of the field and come up through and win the race, they will get $50. So I'm curious if any of those entice you to probably race harder, or if you're still like, you know what, the money would be nice, but a championship, even though that doesn't pay anything, that's way sweeter.
Yeah, yeah, honestly, I'm kind of yeah, I don't honestly I don't know. Like you definitely won't be seeing me if I win the heat. I won't be taking EOL, that's for sure. But if I happen to be top three, I mean, cool. But I'm not gonna push for it just for the money.
Okay.
If I'm there, I'm there. But it's a different story if I wasn't. If the points weren't the way it is right now, or if it was like a mid-season championship thing or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, special event, a little bit of a different story there, but I'm kind of right now, honestly, I'm so focused, so dialed in on just practicing and just going into this race. I hate to say it, but just getting it done and over with and see what goes on and just get it done and over with because I'm stressed out, I'm nervous. Yeah, honestly, this is just the way I am. I've always been like this since the day I got iRacing. So just look, I just want to get it done, man, and see what happens.
As much as I'd like to see you go for the money, I like that you almost you do value the championship over money. So I
Yeah.
love that, and yeah, that's what it's all about right there. Like, money's nice, but you know what? Every for, for the rest of your life, you'll be known as a champion. So whatever, right? You can
Yeah,
make you can make that money somewhere else eventually.
that's the thing, man. It's for me, a championship. I'm really passionate about this stuff. You talk to some people who just have no idea about it. Whether it's guys at work or friends or family, and it's like, oh, you race on a video game on your computer. Like, how dumb is that? Well,
It's not dumb to
for
me.
for me, yeah, exactly. Like this is a hobby for me. This is something I'm very, very passionate about, racing in general. And I've been on the sim since 2017, and with breaks in between there and stuff. But like I said, I'm very passionate about this. I'm very passionate about the leagues I race in, and I want to do good, and to be in a position to win the championship. It means the world to me. It means a lot. I get very emotional with this stuff, and I absolutely want to go out there and win it over. I mean, even if it was $100 on the line, I want that championship. I want the trophy, and that's what it's all about for me right now going into Oswego on Tuesday.
That love that. So I don't know if any of the other guys got any questions, but I got one more. I want to ask about your throwback.
Yep.
So who we throwing it back to, and yeah, what does that paint scheme mean to you? Because I'm sure that there's more than just one paint scheme that you've been around. So why specifically that one?
Yeah. So unfortunately, I don't have any history really personally to 358 modifieds or big block modifieds. So I messaged Dean. I said, hey, is it okay if I I know it's a 358 modified league, but is it okay if I throw it back to 2004 when my dad won, or not won, but ran late models at our local track, and he had a nice blue and yellow wrap. And he's like, oh yeah, yeah, no problem. So, and I already had a wrap made and all that stuff for my dad's wrap and stuff. So I asked him. He said, yeah, and yeah, gonna be throwing it back to my pops there. Big. I feel this one on a personal level, going out there and running. My dad's number, my dad's car. I told my dad like when it came to real life and on the sim, I'll never run the number 75. I know it's not like hockey or what other sports where they'll retire a number, but in my mind, that number is retired, so my number is 75T. But this is when I had that wrap made, it's 75, and it's just my dad, right? So it means a lot for me to come out there and be able to run my dad's number, my dad's wrap that he had a lot of success in, won championships with, and it's going to be really cool to see the other ones there too, as well with actual modified guys and legends and stuff like that. So it's gonna be pretty cool to see all the wraps out there.
It's gonna be cool if you could wrap this championship up in your dad's car. So that'd be really fitting. Yeah, I ain't got much else to say for that. I don't know if anybody else got. I'm sure these guys got some questions for you.
Trevor, what's your highlight of the season so far? Obviously, with the championship, that'll top it. But so far, what's your highlight?
Um, Honestly, I think for me, coming in as a rookie and um, with the expectations I had on myself was just to win a race and then go in and win four in a row. I think that's that like after you win two, it's like okay, I really want this third one. Then you win the third one, it's like holy crap, I want to win the fourth one. So for me, on a personal level, if we're talking like personal accolades, whatever you want to call it, I think that's probably my highlight is winning four races in a row. I think to put it in perspective for me personally, in Coast to Coast, last season they just wrapped up their season. We're in the next season now, but last season I won, I think it was 7 or 8 races across 4 different series. It was 358s, big blocks, pro late models, limited late models. Like that's across 4 different classes of cars. And that's 7 or 8 wins. And then, I'm at 6 in one league in one car. And then to put 4 in a row in that too, I think I would probably put that up there too. For sure on a personal level, that was kind of wild, kind of a Cinderella run there, but yeah, definitely cool to do that for sure.
Roger, you have anything else?
I'm just over here trying to think. Obviously, Trevor, you're gonna throw it back to your dad. You talked about what it means with that. You talked about what it means to be here on iRacing, and this is your passion. The guys at work at the water cooler don't really understand the iRacing thing. Trust me, I think all of us here that are tonight and everybody listening, they understand that because we're all kind of our own breed. Other than the iRacing side
Yep.
of thing, other than long walks on the beach with Dean at night, what other hobbies does an iRacer like yourself have?
Honestly, that's a good question.
We don't have much other hobbies. That's we get stuck in the sim.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of in and out with things. I'm big into space stuff, so I got a big old telescope and that I'll bring outside and look at the planets and stuff. So I do that stuff and photograph planets and stuff like that, and kind of the nerdy stuff, I guess you could call it. Yeah, not really a whole lot. I mean, just full-time working dude. So just kind of do that when I have a chance and play a little bit of guitar, a little bit of golf, a little bit of beer league hockey, a little bit of everything, I guess you could say. But I think definitely iRacing's the main one. I mean, going at this for almost 10 years and it's on an emotional level for me now. I'm very very passionate about iRacing for sure.
Have you
I was
ever
gonna say,
thought taking this iRacing thing and following your dad on, even if it's not a 358 modified, a big block modified, a sportsman, however you want to say it, maybe into, a street stock division up north?
mhm. Yep.
Yeah, so I think about it every day. I think honestly, I mean I'll find a roller chassis online and send it to Pops and say, "Hey, let's go halves on this thing and just race some shows." Like, come on, man, like let's do it. And then he goes on the whole spiel about how expensive it is now and it's not 2004 anymore, dude. And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but like we have, we're 2 people. We can make it work." And yeah, it's a never-ending battle, but no, started iRacing in 2017, and in 2018, I ran. They're called mini mods, so it's my car in particular was a master built late model chassis, cut 18 inches from the rear, and it's all the same bolt-ons as a master built late model, and then it's got the Ford rear end in it, the small modified tires, and then your I think it's the Ford 2.3 engine in there, 4 cylinder. So I ran that for a season, and um, you know, I in my first 5 races. Was able to win a couple heat races, a couple top fives in the features. Did that for a bit, and then hurt the motor at the end of the season unexpectedly, and then kind of just an opportunity came up to sell it and sold it and went a different way, thinking that I'd be back into it. And then stuff happens, met my wife, and you move out, and now you got all these expenses, and yeah, but it just didn't work out. But I mean, maybe if I keep sending Dad all these roller late model chassis, he'll eventually buy one with me. Who knows?
So, you're talking about the roller chassis now. I'm curious. Have you ever got Dad to sit in the sim?
Yeah, I did actually. I did, and you know what? I would like to say that he's on the fence about actually, maybe eventually getting a computer, getting on here, running some laps, getting comfortable, because he was on here and excuse me, he was on here, and obviously he's just got that natural ability. Like, it's obviously a little different, but I've
Yeah.
had guys, like, I've had friends on here that come in and they can't even get the car to the damn pits. But then, I get Pops in here, and he's running laps, he's struggling a little bit, but he gets the idea, right? So I think he'd be good with it, and he did fine. He liked it, and maybe one day he'll get a little computer, a little monitor, cheap wheel to start, and I don't know, maybe he'll come run some leagues eventually when he's not a weapon out there. But we'll see. We'll see. He's definitely been on it. He loved it, and he likes watching. He watches all the time. So we'll see what happens with that.
Trevor, I have just one request for you. You
Yep.
talked about your telescope.
Yep.
Whatever you do, don't let Dean near that thing. He will use it for nefarious things. Just don't let Dino near your telescope, please.
Dino's banned from it. He doesn't get access. He's yeah, it's got a restraining order on him. So no, he goes nowhere near it.
Uh, well, guys, me and Rob still got a whole nother series to recap.
Series.
We
Yeah,
got
ARCA
the
and
ARCA.
Cup.
We got 2. So we appreciate you both coming on. Roger, I know you're not on the Discord always, so it's props to me for getting you on Discord off race night. That's good. And Trevor's always up to talk, so I like that. And yeah, just thanks for both coming on. And any closing remarks you both have that you want to give on the podcast, and as we get ready for this big final championship race.
Go ahead, Trevor. We'll let you go first. We'll roll the red carpet out for you one more time.
No, he's got the red carpet on Tuesday too, probably. I got that saved up. I got it saved up. It's a
Hey, you better knock on some wood. Don't be jinxing it now.
I'm knocking, buddy. I'm knocking.
No, just just like I said, looking forward to Tuesday. Whatever happens, it's been a good season, a successful rookie season. So just like I said, gonna be practicing, gonna be putting in some laps, and it's all gonna go down on Tuesday. Looking forward to it. I'm nervous as hell. But we'll see what happens. Just thank you guys for putting this stuff on for us, Roger. You are incredible broadcaster. I love watching your races back. You just have the natural ability to talk. You're just very smooth with it. You got the voice for it. It's been a pleasure listening to you. And Brandon, it's been fun racing with you. And Rob, all you do for the league, and Dean as well. Just everybody with G.Stone Motors, all everybody behind the scenes for putting this stuff on for us. Gonna be a fun closer on Tuesday, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll follow Trevor up there, everybody. I mean, it's been a great season. This will be the conclusion of 4 seasons of being honorable to be here as the voice of the 802 358 Modified Series, and I couldn't have done it with out all the talent that we have here in the 802 Series from the dirt. And I've seen some of the asphalt drivers; they sure as heck have talent, not just on asphalt but on dirt. And I got to thank all the fans, all the sponsors, Rob, Brandon, Dean behind the scenes. I got to thank the whole Stone family for their continued support, because without them and without all you race fans, I wouldn't get to come out here on a Tuesday night. And I tell you, I'm not going to say this just because I'm here tonight on the 802 podcast, but it is by far one of the best series I've ever had the pleasure to kind of be the voice and the guy that calls all the shots. So I appreciate yous. I appreciate them. And Rob, Brandon, continue to do your things out here. Trevor, can't wait to see what you can do if you can wrap this championship up here this Tuesday night. 100 laps from the Oswego Speedway.
I couldn't say it any better.
No, I think we leave it at
You have
that.
that. Yeah, you have the
We
voice.
let the voice of the series walk
Yeah.
us out.
If you'd like me to sit here until the end, race fans, I can do that.
I will tell you, Roger, that we have a full-length 400-mile race to end our season in the Cup Series, and Jeff Pogo and I were chatting the other day in Discord, and we're trying to find someone to hang out with Brett for that, because I think 3+ hours for Brett is going to be hard on him by himself. And a guy that's never turned a lap in the G.Stone Motors 358 series says, you only need to get Roger to come on and do it with him, because Rogers would be excellent for our series for one night. And that's the respect you have from the asphalt guys who don't run in the races you call is just incredible. And
Well, Jeff Pogo and I have a long-standing relationship. I would say probably going back 7 years.
Really?
Where
You didn't tell me
he
that.
has Jeff has seen me come through the ranks, and I know we're going overtime here, race fans, but bear with me. This even we're going down a whole another rabbit hole. We could put probably another 2-hour show on here. But Jeff Pogo, Eric Holly is part of your asphalt series. They actually were some of the first two people to ever give me a shot on iRacing to call races. They've seen me go through, not being able to put a transition screen together or get timing and scoring to work at all. They stuck with me and gave me that opportunity, and I actually got to meet Jeff Pogo a couple years back at a wedding in Ohio for another iRacing member of their series. And that, Jeff is a great guy. He's a great racer. And I feel honored that he still remembers, because Jeff and I haven't probably talked or spoke in, I would say, 5-6 years. So for him to remember that I'm still here, I guess I've been around the block, and I leave a lasting impression with, as you guys would say, my smooth voice. And I just think it's just my voice.
Crazy how everything always comes full circle in a way.
It is. Well, I'm going to say we timed this just about perfect, because as we're finishing up here, Clay Christopherson is pulled into victory lane in what I essentially did a replay of the first race of the season in Oswego. So, how's that for timing?
Over that.
It's been
Perfect.
playing in the background as we're talking.
Well, yeah. Again, appreciate you both taking the time out of your Friday night to hop on with us, and yeah, let's have one more good race here for Roger.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on again. Love watching, love being on it, talking to you guys, and it's been a pleasure. So thank you very much.
You guys, Tuesday night from the Oswego Speedway with the G.Stone Motors 358 Modified Series on Championship Night.
Well, thanks for Roger and Trevor for joining us. That was awesome. Roger, we're blessed to have two great broadcasters in Brett and Roger. Both are just naturals at it, and Roger's voice, that it's just the way he carries himself. Man, it reminds me of the greats like Squire and Barney Hall.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Shane Andrews and Johnny Gibson. Like I'm thinking dirt guys. I'm just like, I could see Roger just like calling a dirt race. Like I could listen to Dirt Vision, and it would be Roger's voice. So yeah, ever since the first dirt league I was in was Upstate Racing League, and Roger was the voice there. And as soon as I started 802 with you guys after that next season, and he was the voice, and I was like, that's awesome, because I used to love listening to his races. So, and then for the full story, or the full circle story of Pogo giving him almost his break, that's awesome.
Yeah, I had no clue.
It was
Did
just
you?
awesome. Nope.
You're
did not know
Pogo's
that at all.
teammate, and
I'm
you didn't know
Pogo's
it.
teammate. Didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just assumed maybe he had like watched some of our dirt races. But
Yeah,
it
I
kinda
did
makes
too.
sense why he'd say get Roger in there. So maybe we can line that up. But we got some crunch time here to do.
Yeah.
Quickly
Let's
through
let's.
we'll go ARCA.
So Chris Progar wins it. For a super speedway drafting track, it got broke up, and really, it wasn't a whole lot of drafting going on at the end. And actually, that track has come to a transition on the service. It's become a handling track. It really has. But Chris wins it, and then in a first for me, um, he took checkered flag, first place. He had no black flags. He comes around. He just starts doing his burnout, and he gets disqualified on lap 61 of a 60-lap race for reckless driving. So when we bring up the results page, it's going to show Dan McLaren as the winner, but Dan is not the winner. Chris Progar is. But yeah, Chris breaks Matt Barber's two race winning streak to start the season. Dan McLaren was second. Shane Billings, another one of our dirt guys that's crossed over, was third. Aiden Tatro was fourth. Clay Stewart was fifth. Matt Barber was sixth. Cooper Guptill was seventh, and I finished dead last in eighth. I got wrecked out, so um, that was the ARCA race. And then
Yeah, nice little fun Saturday league, but
yeah, it is.
The main bread and butter of the league in the midst of the playoffs here. This is the first race of the second round, right? That's what we're on.
Yep.
Yep. So, Las Vegas.
Okay, I got the results up. I'll let you run through the top five.
Yeah. So, first career win for this guy, Scott Simley, picks up his first win on a little strategy race for himself. He saved the fuel and comes out with a win for himself. So
He
Scott Simley.
he stole this guy that drives the one car in the Cup Series. Usually it's his winning strategy. I think he won more in fuel mileage than anyone I know. Brandon.
It's funny. I was when well, I'll get into my race after. Actually, we'll go through the order. Yeah. So Anthony Cantoni, first playoff driver across the line, he finishes second. Grant Humphrey in his first race with the series finishes third. My teammates round out the top five: Jim Ott and Jeff Pogo. Chris Muse is in sixth with his first race of the series. Then it's your teammates with some good runs. Nick Larson finishes seventh. Johnny Barker has a good run compared to where he started. He started 25th. He gets up to eighth. Todd Parent ninth, and Frank Zingen rounds out the top 10.
Brandon, you finished 11th. Nate Brooker was 12th. Joey Coutinho was 13th. Chris Progar was 14th. Dylan Hinton was 15th. Eli Raposa was 16th. I finished 17th. Joe Hudson was 18th. Jason Wiley 19th. And Tim Shiflett rounded out the top 20.
Arabia Caton 21st. Kenny Rail 22nd. Shannon Wood 23rd. Mike Kelly 24th. Brandon Hinton 25th. Steve Ritter 26th. Connor Dudek 27th. And Aiden Tatro 28th. Really good field. 28
Great
cars.
field
Very
in
strong.
Vegas.
Yeah. Love that. But yeah, so as you said, the fuel mileage race for Scott, kind of like one of my MOs, and it was funny. There was a point in the race where me, Jim, and Jeff all kind of stayed out, but everybody else had pitted at one point. And then it was very soon after we went green, they pitted, trying to because he thought, well, everybody did have to pit at least once, except Scott because he was clutching it the whole time. But I asked them as soon as they came out of the pits, I said, how many laps can you guys go on a full tank of fuel? And then I started doing the math in my head, and I was like, shoot, if I would have went in under that caution, I probably could have made it on fuel. I can clutch it usually pretty good. And I just wasn't paying attention at the time when the caution came out and how many laps were to go. But yeah, you're right. That's something like after the race, I was like, damn, I really wish I would have done that because it's one of the things I'm pretty good at doing is holding a pretty solid speed while saving a lot of fuel. So kudos to Scott. Hey, I like it when it comes to a little strategy like that. It's not like anybody else couldn't have done that. Like everybody else had that opportunity, and he took advantage. And yeah, he wins the race by almost a full lap over Anthony, just based off how everybody else had to pit, and he didn't.
Yeah, and for some reason I just got logged out of iRacing as I'm sitting in it. No idea how that happens. So now I'm struggling to try to get logged back in here. And I need my phone for the multi-factor authentication, and I can't find my phone. We're just a mess here right now.
It's always just the most inopportune times.
Yeah. So, kind of like you. Sorry, here I'm trying to get this going. I felt like I had a good night going. Started 11th, drove up to second. Early in the first run, dropped back to fourth, and then started playing we started playing the game of just maintaining track position and getting through some laps. And I took tires around lap, I want to say 83 maybe or something like that. Same time Simley and them did. So they came in topped off after me, but
Yep.
I drove up through and had passed Grant Humphreys, like lap 100, 105, somewhere in there. Jim and Jeff pitted, put me
Yeah, I
second.
think it was like right after you passed them.
Yep.
They pitted.
Yeah. I was actually catching Anthony Calatoni, and then I figured he was going to go as long as he could on fuel, and I kind of wanted to. I was worried about Jim and Jeff undercutting us, so I said I'm going to go at like 112, 115, somewhere in there, and just kind of split the difference. And then I got a speed ticket coming in and got held for 40 seconds, and that ruined my race. But yeah, I feel like I threw away a top three.
It's funny because like at that same time when I asked if they pitted, or when they pitted, how many laps they could go, I was like, Rob probably can make it. He pitted around like 85-ish, and I'm like, I'm just doing quick math. Like, I think those guys can make it if they really wanted to.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I had talked about it earlier in the week. I thought maybe we could make it like 65, 66 laps. I thought 67 was out of the question. Boy, was I wrong. But
Well, I think the other thing that kind of helped too was, I mean, obviously we all practiced it in the night, but like I think that's another thing that helped Scott was there wasn't as much fall off either. Like there was some, but like it was really easy to maintain a lap speed with the cooler track temp. So,
yeah, with if it'd been a day race and hotter track temp, you wouldn't have been able to clutch it and carry the corner speed. You would have had to slow down more.
Yeah.
Because without the engine braking, getting into the corner, it would have just burnt right front off it. So kind of like the perfect scenario for that to go.
Now I'm not saying he couldn't have made it. He could have made it, but I think the gap between him and Anthony would have been closer, or Anthony possibly could have. I think it just would have been a closer race. I think he still could have saved the fuel. It's just like you said, it's gonna burn up the tire a lot more. He's gonna slow down a lot more over being out there for such a long run. Those guys' new tires is actually gonna have an advantage because that's getting back to Jim and Jeff. They tried to undercut and it didn't work because there wasn't that fall off. Like when they pitted, everybody's tires were still too new. So even when they pitted, they were still kind of like on equal tires. Like they were a little bit faster, but just not fast enough. Like there wasn't enough difference in the lap times by the time it was just basically all even the whole time.
Yep.
Which kind of was a bummer because I thought they had a good strategy, but also wasn't expecting. I mean, it didn't really hurt them that much. They probably, instead of finishing top 3, both of them, they've still both finished top 5.
So it's 8:30, Brian. Let's go through the point standings real quick, the playoff standings.
Yep.
We'll do the top 10 here, and then we'll call it a night. I guess we're gonna skip picks this week.
Yeah. I don't have any idea of what a pick would be for Gateway. There wasn't enough. Yeah.
So Anthony Calatoni's leading the points. He's up 1 point on Jim Ott. Jeff Pogo sits third. 4 points back of Anthony. Nick Larson's fourth, 6 points, and then Johnny Barker sits fifth. Those right now are your 5 guys in. More importantly, is how many points they're up on the cut line. But Frank Zingan sits 6. He's 1 point back of Johnny Barker for the final transfer spot. Eli Raposa is 7th. He sits 7 points, 8 points back.
8. Yep.
I'm 8th. I'm 9 points back. Joe Hudson is 9th. He's 10 points back. And then Steve Ritter had the roughest of all of us at Vegas. He's 10th, and he's 18 points behind the cut line. But what I'll say is going into Gateway, it's a wild card. Who knows what's going to happen? And then we're going to be going to Homestead in a week or 9 days from now. And I got a feeling that's going to be a massive car count at Homestead.
Yep.
So
Really racy track. People love Homestead. And
Yep.
I think it's kind of the same idea as Vegas. I think we'll get around the same car count, and very easily this could be the whole reversal could happen, where Steve wins the race, Anthony has the battery. Like this, it could flip. So, like you said, Gateway's this wild card that kind of what the middle race is supposed to be in each round that we did was a wild card. So, should be fun. I will say we're not doing picks, but I expect the playoff drivers to be in the top 15 spots all race.
Yeah, I'm going to say Johnny Barker's going to be extremely difficult. I think he won. Oh, we can look real quick, but I want to say he won last. I know he won the race last season very handedly. He was in his.
I think there's only three guys that are in the playoffs right now that raced that race last year. So.
Let's just look real quick. We got time to look real quick. Actually, season 5, new season. So Johnny Barker won it, and he won it by. It was only his second back. There might have been a caution late. I know there was really no one even threatening him. Just he led 75 of 120 laps last year. So Johnny's pretty good, and he's also rocking a new wheelbase now. So,
so Johnny, Frank, and Poga are your only playoff drivers that had a start there.
So it should be interesting.
Yep, it'd be like Rob said, it'd be the wild card. So we got the race tonight. Those guys get some practice and then get the layout of the land. But Sunday's the money spot. But running a little late with the interviews, so yeah, I think we're gonna do the sign off here. And thanks everybody for watching and listening, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, and as always, we'll have a quick commercial from our presenting sponsor for the G.Stone Motors 358 Modifieds. Have a good night, and we will talk to you next week.
My father, Gardner Stone, has grown our dealership with one thing in mind: to treat people the way you want to be treated. Well, the way you buy a vehicle now is everything is ordered, so customers have to pick where they want to buy a vehicle. The people coming back for their second, their third, their fourth, their fifth vehicle, it's a good relationship, but that tells you that they know that we're going to take care of them. At G.Stone Motors, we just don't make customers, we make long-lasting friends, and I think that separates us.
G.Stone Motors, Route 7 South, Middlebury, Vermont.
My